Hey everybody, this is TotalGamerJunkie. I want to welcome you all back to my channel. So in this video, I want to discuss what I think Chloe's role will be, if you chose to save her of course, what her role will be in both timelines. Now as we all know, in this new game, Max has the power to shift between alternate timelines. Her original one where Sophie's dead, and an alternate one where she's alive. Now, I know there's a theory going around that when Max switches between the timeline, the original timeline where Sophie's dead, that's the ending you chose, say you saved Chloe's life. But then when you shift to this alternate timeline, you're in the ending where Max chose to sacrifice Chloe instead. Now, originally I was on board with this idea and I thought it would happen, but after thinking about it, it's a no for me. I don't believe it would happen. And the reason is, Max would have to not only create an alternate timeline, she'd be affecting the past as well, because it's stated her powers in this game, she doesn't control time, it's reality breaking powers, not time breaking powers, if you know what I mean. So I don't see, and plus if you think about it, it would make the choice of what we did feel a bit watered down. If Max is able to go to an alternate timeline where Chloe's alive, then what does that mean for the ending of the game? Because I do think that maybe one of the endings is Max will have to destroy one of the timelines in order for the other one to survive, because we see that there's a disaster that's going to happen with the two moons and whatnot, and the dark clouds coming in. Could be another tornado, tsunami, could be a meteor strike. Like, we don't know what exactly is going to happen. Maybe a massive tidal wave. Like, this completely sinks the university. But I do think that it makes the choice our ending less important if the alternate timeline has the opposite ending. So I do think that whatever our ending is, it's going to be the same in both timelines. The only difference is Sophie's alive in this other timeline. Let's start with the first timeline. I foresee two scenarios, and they both involve Chloe coming to Colden University. Now, if Sophie's dead, I do think that, because obviously if Chloe is alive in the game, no doubt there's going to be calls and text messages from her, and I do think she's going to make an appearance, but not until later in the game, as to give other characters time to be flushed out. And because if Chloe comes into the game completely, she's gonna hog up everything, just her and Max, you know. So I do think if Sophie is dead, well, not if she's dead, when she dies, Chloe might decide to come down to comfort Max because she doesn't want her to suffer alone. Or another interesting thing could be that she'll come down if Max tells her about her new powers. Because we know Max is going to tell Sophie about in the alternate timeline, she's going to mention how she's dead in her timeline. But I do think if Chloe's alive, Max is going to tell her. Who else can she discuss this new power with? People are going to think she's crazy. Like, we know we can have Max discuss it with Moses, but clearly we would somehow have to prove to Moses that we're not crazy, that Max isn't crazy, that she has powers. Because the developers have stated when Max tells Moses, he can come up with an idea as to why her powers have evolved and changed. Now, as for the alternate timeline, I think things will be slightly different. I 100% believe Chloe would not come down to Colden University as Sophie's alive, and I think Max wouldn't tell her about her powers as in her timeline, Chloe's already coming down to comfort her, and I think just having two Chloes and two timelines would be a bit too much, because with the two timelines, we don't even know how long these episodes go for, so it's going to be really difficult to write dialogue for this. But let's say that Chloe and Max will still have phone calls and text messages. It'll just be different because Max is shifting between the two timelines. So that's the gist of it. In the original timeline, Chloe will be heading to Colden University. In the new timeline, she'll be wherever she is, doing whatever work she's doing, as I mentioned in the previous video, perhaps she's a car mechanic and she's too busy, she can't come down. But with Sophie dead in the original timeline, that's an exception because she wants to be there for her girlfriend or friend, you know, whatever you chose. Well, anyway, that's the end of this video. Not much to it. I do have some other videos coming out soon, and I also plan to have the novels out. So be on the lookout for them. Hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. This is TotalGamerJunkie signing off.